Paul Seedsman joins us now. Paul, welcome to AFL.com.au. Thanks for your time.
No, thanks for having me.
Mate, can we ask off the top, the decision and the move? Talk us through the mechanics of it. How did it all come about and how are you settling in?
Yeah, the move's been great. It's going really well. It's sort of just come about just with, I played, I think, 2 of the last 10 games at the Pies. So, for me, that showed that they were going one way and I wasn't in that plan. So I thought it'd be the best move for my career to request a trade.
How tough a decision was that?
Yeah, obviously extremely tough. I love Collingwood and I love all the players down there, and had some really close mates there. But that's not going to change. At the end of the day, I had to make a business decision and what was best for me. And Adelaide, is a great club and a great organisation, and I'm wrapped with the decision.
Yeah, Paul, you said you played the first 10 of the 12 games in the first half of the year and then only a couple in the second half. You sound like you're a little disappointed. Maybe you thought that you were good enough to play in the second half of the year for the Pies?
Oh, yeah, potentially. I had some good games in the VFL, but at the same time I still had a few quieter games and was a little bit inconsistent. So, those things happen in football clubs. The blokes, obviously, at AFL level, the coaches, thought they were playing their role well, and they were. They were playing good footy. Only 22, blokes can get picked each week, so there's going to be some that miss out. And, I just happen to be one of those.
And Paul, it is more and more, we see it a lot in American sport, especially NFL. It does become, as in your words, a bit of a business decision. If you've got to move for your career, you move. You're a huge Collingwood fan as a kid, so that makes it even tougher again. You've got that emotional attachment to the Pies, but you do have to think about your career and the best opportunities you get, don't you? And we're seeing that more and more in footy.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and I guess that's one thing. Obviously, I was pretty close with Heath Shaw and Dane Beams, and those two made the decisions. Oh, obviously Heath was a little bit different, but Beamsy made that decision the year before, and Heath was just big on. He was obviously a massive Collingwood supporter. He just said, you got to put the emotion aside and do what's best for you. And when a club like Adelaide was there, it was it was a pretty easy decision in the end.
How have you found the new coach, Don Pike, and are there major differences between Pikey and Nathan Buckley? Yeah,
Pikey's been really good so far, and I don't know about comparing them. It's early days. It's only been a pre-season. The pressures of playing games hasn't come around, so I haven't heard Pikey raise his voice too often, but I'm sure that'll change once the wins and losses count.
Paul, it's natural that we're always going to, whenever we're talking about Adelaide early on in the season, we're going to talk about the fact Paddy Dangerfield isn't there. In Adelaide, have you managed to, the Crows managed to block all that talk out and just say, well, he's gone, it's done, we just got to get on with this season, or is it just constantly in your face?
Oh, a lot of people like to, ask questions about it and always bring him up, but internally, Paddy made the decision to move on, so, it's no longer around the club. We've got blokes ready to step up. Brad Crouch has had a great pre-season, and he's going to be a very good player. And what he's shown this year going through the midfield, blokes like Jared Lyons and Cameron Ellis-Yeoman, these blokes, we're looking for them to step up and fill that void that Paddy left. Obviously, he's a great player, so it's going to be tough. But we think that we've got the depth and the players to cover him, this year.
You've got a lot of runners at Adelaide. Has Pikey told you where he'd like you to play this year?
Yeah, I think it'll be mainly across the wing, just provide that outside balance. And, I think, obviously, with the rotations and that, you're going to have to play in a couple of different spots. So, I dare say I'll spend some time across half-back and potentially even across half-forward for just little pinch hits and, just to fill some spots, if rotations get tight.
Good stuff, Paul. Really appreciate your time this afternoon. Good luck for the game on the weekend.
No worries. Thanks very much, guys.